Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of Underking pre-production. Today we'll be going over a track called Excalibur with new and improved audio, so hopefully you can tell a difference there. And what you'll have just seen me record is the main riff for the song. It's pretty simple, but I think it's pretty effective as well, so I'll show you that now. As you can see, the song kind of starts with that guitar riff recorded on its own in a kind of simpler, less heavy way. And I've tried to pan it so it goes from the centre to the left, so it kind of all spreads out once it all gets to the meat of it. And that sounds like this. So it starts down the middle. Bass comes in. Starts to pan. Over there. Yeah, pretty groovy. So in this video, I thought I'd talk a bit more about the songwriting process rather than the actual recording process. So I don't know if this is going to sound like any other person discussing songwriting that you've heard ever, but I thought I'd tell you anyway. So normally my songs start with the main riff, which is the bit at the beginning that also doubles as chorus in this song, which is normally what I start with. And then it expands out to verses, pre-choruses and bridges, and that's normally my process. Sometimes it'll start with something else, so for example Dragon of the West started with some lyrics and then kind of branched out into the verses, and then I got a good chorus to go with it. Witchhammer started with the orchestral section at the beginning and the ending, and kind of branched out into the chorus and the main riff and all the other sections. And then, yeah, so compared to other songs, this is a bit more straightforward, but I think it's still pretty cool, so let's keep going. Another thing you may have noticed in the recent kind of pre-production videos is that I think my soloing style has completely changed over the writing process for this next album. I think I've consciously tried to make an effort to make things more catchy, to make things more singable. I think a lot of my solos suffered on Amongst the Dead and Ghosts of the Past just from being a bit too bland, either too shreddy or a bit too simple, but not in a good way. So I've made a real attempt to make them catchy and danceable even on a couple of tracks. For example, the one you saw me do the other day on Red Sun Rises, I think it's got a good bop quality to it. So yeah, that continues with this song. I decided to do a bit of a harmonised lead at the end, changing up the drums. to make it hit a bit more, you know, like a whoa-oh kind of thing. And I think it's turned out pretty good. So I just thought I'd end this video with a bit of an example on what I meant about my songwriting style earlier on. So this is the last chorus here, which is just a variation of that main riff that you saw me play at the beginning. So it's very similar in the sense that it's the same riff, there's a bit of a lead, but what I've done is I've layered things. So this is what it sounds like without any of the layering. As you can tell, it's just the same thing as the beginning, but that doesn't sound very last chorusy. So the drums change, give it that kind of double time feel. And then there's another lead. And another lead on top, which gives it a bit more energy. It makes it sound like it's actually building up to a climax rather than just repeating the same thing over and over again. Yeah, that's something I like to do a lot. I think it gives sections a certain edge that they need to stand out from other sections. And I think that sounds pretty cool. So thanks for watching this episode of Underking Pre-Production. It'll be the last one for a while I focus on getting the rest of it written and recorded so that I can hopefully make another couple of these for you when it's nearing completion towards the end of the year. I've just started vocals on the album and I finished the track Red Sun Rises yesterday, as I've recorded anyway. And it's going really well and I can't wait to show it all to you guys when it's done. And thanks for watching.